Coach, how have you felt about the way that Barron's attacked this sprint or this fall, I guess, just coming off the injury as he looked through 12 practices so far?
Yeah, I'm really impressed with him. He's done a really good job. It's kind of funny. Yesterday was his first interception he's thrown all camp in a team setting, and that's in about somewhere between 150, 160 throws. So if you put that, let's say you're throwing 40 times a game, which is a pretty high number, but you do that times, your 12 games, you're talking 3 picks in 12 games. I'll take that. And that was even off a tip ball. So he's just doing a really good job of the things we're told him to focus on, protecting himself in the pocket, number one, not turning the football over, and then just making good decisions, and he's done a really good job with that. So that, number one, on the field, and then off the field, just leadership has been unbelievable. I think that's probably the biggest growth he's had, is just being one of the team captains and leading this football team.
Has there been a run scheme that has best fit this offensive lines? I know you guys majored in the gap and the counter stuff last year, but is it somewhat similar so far through camp, or is the zone stuff kind of coming through as well?
Yeah, I mean, we're still kind of tinkering with a little bit of it. We're still going to have your gap scheme runs, and we've really tried to get a little bit more focus on some outside zone as well. That'll come into play against certain defenses that are giving us the look we like for that. We feel a little bit more athletic up front this year as far as being able to work laterally on some outside zones, so hopefully we'll be able to get into some of that as well.
How are you going to divvy up the reps this weekend at quarterback for the scrimmage?
You know what, I don't know exactly because I haven't got the practice face yet, so I don't know the exact scenarios. But off the rip, Barron will start with the ones with Cam Brown at the twos, and then Will Hammond will probably get a couple of the twos as well, and then Jake Strong will be sprinkled in there as we go as well.
I know you said Barron's doing and he said he's making every throw, but are you guys kind of keeping him on a pitch count some? Because it looks like in the viewing periods that we've had, there's a guy, a student assistant or whatever, throwing some of the balls. Is that just a precautionary thing?
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't missed a single practice. He's thrown everything. It just gets to the point where there's some guys too that we know are going to redshirt that he's not going to be throwing to this year, and so there's some of those times we just it's not necessarily a wasted rep, but he just doesn't need to take that rep at that point. So just being smart with him. But again, he's thrown anywhere between 130 balls a day. The next day it's 60, just depending on kind of what the practice structure is.
What did you like from him this past Saturday?
I thought he did a really good job just being a leader for us. We got into, we weren't chunking the deep ball a whole lot just based off of some of the scenarios we were in and some of the controlled settings of that scrimmage that we had, but just he was very efficient with the ball, high completion percentage, no turnovers, didn't take a sack. It's kind of been one thing we've been harping on. If we can take care of the football and not go backwards, I think we're going to win a lot of football games.
Coach, Joey mentioned that Cam Brown is going to be involved a little bit in the quarterback run game. Can you kind of go into a little bit more depth about what that looks like, when that's going to happen, and how often you've practiced that in your practices during the fall?
Yeah, so we've done some things with him. I don't want to dive into the details, to give some of that stuff away, but you're going to see a lot of different ways that he does run it off of some different run schemes. But the good thing about him is he's not just a runner. He can throw the ball. He's doing a good job throwing the football for us this camp too. So that's where he has that different element where you can't just pack the box on him, because if you do, he's able to have full control of the offense and check some pass plays and throw it over their heads as well. So we'll kind of see based off of how the game flow goes and some of that stuff, but definitely hoping to get him in every game as long as we stay healthy, with number 2 back there and trying to sprinkle in some stuff with him here and there.
How has the O-line done with the quarterback run game?
Yeah, it's been good. The good thing for them is really they're still blocking the same runs that they do. You gain that extra hat with the running back a little bit, but they enjoy it. You know how O-linemen are, man. They want to run the ball and be physical. So anytime we call those quarterback runs, they enjoy that too.
Have you been running Jalen Conyers at Wildcat at all?
We've done some different stuff with him. Yeah, again, I don't want to dive too much into it, but you're going to see him in a wide variety of different places this year.
Joey said at one point that one of the things y'all came away from the Self Scout in February was offensively clean up the counter game, which obviously is kind of bread and butter play. How have you gone about that?
Yeah, again, just making sure we're coaching our guards on the right pulls, and understanding are they spilling it, are they boxing it, so are we getting a kick, are we getting a log, and then that also comes hand in hand with the tight end too. Tight end's got to read his guard's block, be in his hip and read his block. Same thing. Are we getting a kick and an insert, or are we getting a log and a wrap? And then keep following that up with the running back too. The key there is the running back's got to be patient and make sure he's following behind both of his pullers. I thought that's been one of our better runs this fall camp, and again, probably going to continue to be one of our bread and butters as we move on this season.
How are Taj is obviously patient running that now, how the young guys are time when guys progressing in that way.
Yeah,
their patience.
Yeah, they're doing well. The one guy that we're still needing to work with is Jacoby. The true freshman out of Beckville. But man, he's very explosive, and he was in kind of high school. It was kind of like, hey, get him the ball and just go do what you got to do. He had a couple of big runs yesterday where he could have some even bigger runs if he would be a little bit more patient. But I'd say those other guys are all doing a really good job, and he's kind of the one that we're working with a little bit more with his patience on those staying behind his pullers.
Coach, yesterday I saw the tight ends working through that counter read drill that you were kind of talking about there. I guess who of that group has been the best? I know that JC had some stuff to work on, and Mason was really good last year.
Yeah, I'd say Mason's still probably the best one right now, and followed by JC. JC's gotten a lot better. Again, I think you're going to continue to see him just grow in the tight end position in general. Coming in playing offensive tackle, in high school, and then playing receiver at Elon. It's kind of a newer position for him, and so the more reps he gets, the better he's going to be. And even Conyers too, man. As we've gone, you look at him in practice 1, thought he really struggled, and now you're at practice 12, and he's getting better. So we feel good about all 3 of those guys in there. But again, being in the system 3 years and being with Coach Cochran 3 years, I think Mason's probably our best guy right now at that.
Coach, with the kind of on and off days that Gino and Reese are having at the kicker position, does that change at all how your offensive game plan works?
Yeah, we're still, we still believe in analytics here, and we're going to go on the book, and each week, depending on who you're playing, weather, all those things, kind of put that book together for us. And at the end of the day, man, we're going to kind of know on that third down, what that magic number is that we call it. And I'm gonna go with the head coach and what he says to do there. So I wouldn't say especially right now, it's not really changing much. When we get to the season, it's going to be, we go into those Saturdays with that book in mind, so we kind of understand where we're going to be at to go for it or not to go for it.
Vinny Scurry, how has he progressed, and what have you kind of continued to learn from him last couple of weeks?
Yeah, he loves football. That's one thing that I've learned about Vinny. He's been one of our most consistent offensive linemen. When you look at through the spring and fall camp, he's been very consistent for us, which is good. Man, he's a hammerhead in there, man. He loves to pull around and be physical and dump you and finish blocks. And again, to me, that's just his passion of football and how much he loves it. He gives every ounce of everything he's got every play. So he's been really good for us. I'm proud of him.
What'd you say in your mind? What's the competition like at the tackle spots?
Yeah, it's been interesting. We've had guys everywhere. We've had multiple different lineups this year. Again, it's a good problem to have because we feel like we've got some guys that can play a lot of positions. But you've had Sterling out there at tackle. You've had Caleb play some tackle. You've had Ty Buchanan play some tackle. Dalton Merriman playing some tackle. So those 4 guys have kind of been the rotation, and we've been flipping and flopping them. Again, we're just still to this day, even practice 12 in, we're still rotating those guys, trying to find our best 5 that can go win us football games.
Considering Sterling has had the tweak at the beginning of camp, how is he moving now? How has he come back from that?
Yeah, he's full go. He looks good. Yeah, just working him a little bit back in shape, after missing those few practices, but he's 100% looking good.
Do you have a day that you want that starting 5 solidified by, or are you going to push it until game day?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't push it to game day. We're going to do our mock game week this week and probably at least push it through that. And then, once you get to the actual game week, we'd probably like to have it solidified before that Tuesday practice.
So your 5 in the scrimmage too will be what you think your 5 will be on game day?
Not necessarily, no. Tomorrow, again, we're going to have a wide variety of 5 out there at a time, which I think has been really good for us. I think it's making all those guys better. So again, I think, maybe in another 8 to 10 days, whatever that may be, hopefully we'll have that solidified.
We got time for 1 or 2 more.
Do you expect Caleb to still be playing right guard? I know you've said you've played him at tackle, but do you still expect him at right guard?
Yeah, I don't know. Again, it's he's looked really good at tackle, and again, with where we're at right now, being able to plug and play some different guys at different positions, we'll see. The good thing about Caleb is he's played all 4 positions other than center this camp, and so he's kind of that tool that can play any of them. That's a good issue that we have too. So again, that's why we're still kind of in this process right now and trying to work those 5 through and see who our best 5 are and who's got the best chemistry together that we can roll out there against ACU.
You think Cam Dickey will scrimmage this weekend?
I don't know yet. He's looking good. He's looked really good, and so it may be one of those situations where we'll find out probably tomorrow. and maybe one of those things that worked it type deal, you know, because he's going to be a special football player here, and we want to make sure we got him 100% ready to roll on the 31st.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
thank y'all. Appreciate it.